Hello and welcome to the third episode of Professionals in Cars. I'm Dan Roy.
Dylan Rooney.
Welcome back. Just want to thank everybody for the comments, the feedback, the emails we've been getting. It's been overwhelming and very appreciated. So thank you very much. Keep it coming. Any topics, ideas you want us to discuss and voice our opinions about, let us know. Comment, email us, whatever. Big topic today.
Yes, large topic today. We are talking tie length. What is the proper tie length depending on your body, depending on your event? I mean,
Yep.
How long should your tie be and where should it sit?
I'll start with just what I typically try to gauge for how long to make my tie in my body. In the morning, I typically try to line up where it starts going in at the 45, these points at the top of my pants. So the pointing part folds a little bit over the belt. I try to get as close to that as possible. Depending on the time or the event I'm going to, I will make sure that's the case. Sometimes if it's close enough, I'll leave. But that's typically what I go for.
I go a little higher.
Okay.
But first I want to argue your 45-degree angle.
What is this? It's not 45?
That might be a 45. I'm not sure. I have to get my protractor out. All right.
That's 45 right there.
Maybe it's 45. So have you. So Dan likes it right there at the bottom of the belt.
Yep.
I'm more shooting top of the pants or top of the belt where the point is just going to sit right there.
Okay.
I think that's protocol. I mean, for me, that looks nice. That looks sharp.
Yep.
But I think if it's too long or too short, I think it looks sloppy.
Absolutely. You definitely run the risk of not looking professional, not looking like you know what you're doing or talking about on a simple tie length. I mean, you see people where the belts are hanging in, over their crotches. You see belts that are on top of their stomachs, and it doesn't make you look good.
I think you're sacrificing the whole reason why you dressed up to begin with.
Exactly. At that point, it's like
just might as well throw on sweats.
You put on sweatpants, you put on some Crocs, and you call it a day. Have you seen anyone in particular that stands out to you as an example of someone that people can look up as like too long or too short?
Unfortunately, I was just about to bring that up. I think a common culprit or someone that constantly is wearing a tie too long, in my opinion, is our potential future president, Sir Donald Trump.
I've seen it, and you're right. It's too long.
It's about 2 inches too long. It's past his belt.
Yep.
It's way into the crotch area. It just looks sloppy.
And someone his size doesn't have an excuse either, because when you're a thinner build like we are, it's harder to get the tie length short enough because your neck's not as wide. You don't have a stomach for it to go over.
Like you said, for people that are of a skinnier build, it can be more difficult to have the tie be at that right length, just especially because of the back of the tie.
Mm-hmm.
We might have too much fabric where we're concerned about the back coming almost below the front.
Exactly.
And that's a concern that I've had a few times, and I didn't know right from the get-go of how to handle it.
Yeah, it's a major concern that I'm sure we're not the only ones that face. Typically what I do, because I have ties, I have one tie I know off the top of my head that I could do everything I want right, but if it's the length I want, the back of the tie is going to be longer than the front, and that's obviously not acceptable. So what do I do to try to prevent that? When I'm doing my knot up here, the old Windsor, I'll loop it around twice, so I have more fabric up here before I go down the chute and tie it up.
So you're saying never sacrifice the length of the tie for the fabric in the back?
The length of your tie, in my opinion, should always come first, because you can adapt the back of the tie in different ways to make sure that the front is the length you want.
For once, we are in a complete agreement.
Good.
And I've never tried a double wrap, but my go-to method, same thing, I have a few ties that, regardless of what I do, if I do the same, hold it the same length, it's going to come up, the back's going to come up longer than the front. So what I like to do is actually open the little window for it in between the buttons of my shirt.
Okay.
And tuck it in between there, try to lay it down as nicely as I can. And there are a few complications with this at times. I mean, it can look like there's a little bump, and it's very minor if there is one.
I've never noticed it, so I must have seen you wear a tie like that.
And I have worn a tie like that in front of you. No one's ever confronted me on it.
I've never seen it, so that's
But then
good.
again, I'm also a big proponent for the tie clip. I recommend tie clip to anybody.
True. True. And so real quick, this is a different topic kind of, but the tie clip, how do you use that? What's the
I think the tie clip is very useful. Keeps the tie right there, keeps
Okay.
it in place. And sometimes I have one tie in general that I love to wear, but actually a Volcom tie, and
Okay.
the back little holder for it
Yep.
is actually at an angle, which makes zero sense to me. I do not
Hate it.
understand why they manufactured it
Hate
the way
it.
they did.
I would have
then
sent it back.
now the back of the tie, the back kind of sits at the angle now since I tuck it in that way. So I need a tie clip just to make sure it's sitting straight. It looks
Absolutely.
professional,
Yeah.
and the back is staying directly behind the front.
Very good. At the end of the day, tie length is very important. It keeps your whole look. If you're going to be putting on a business attire, look right.
Yeah.
Um,
I think if you have a suit on, your shirt on, shoes on, and then your tie is sitting 3 to 4 inches below your waist, it
throws everything off.
throws everything off. You know what? Let's start off with some fun things. Best drink you had over the weekend?
Let's do it. Drink of the weekend. I had I went to local store by me. I wanted something a little bit different. Also went to Good Value, right?
Okay.
So I got a Santa Rita 120, $9.99. It had like a one of those little ticker things on it that said something from some magazine that it did well and it was a good value. So I was like, this is great. Let me try it. It was great. It was super, everything you wanted a Sauvignon Blanc. It was nice, fresh, light. I mean, you drank outside. It was nicer weather this weekend, which will come up later. So it was a nice outdoor sipping wine.
Personally, I went also an expensive route this weekend.
Okay.
I was actually at a wedding, and we were drinking a lot of Bud Lights.
Bud Light,
For me, that's
classic.
That's my best light beer I can have. I do not like Coors Light personally.
Agreed. That's the worst.
It gives a metallic taste in my
That's the
mouth,
worst.
especially the next morning. I mean, the quantity might play a role in it, but I think Coors Light makes me feeling even worse the next day.
Absolutely. Coors Light is the worst. In my opinion, it's also the worst.
I think the two best light beers you could have and most bang for your buck are, in my opinion, top one, Bud Light,
Bud Light.
and second is Miller Lite.
I think I have the exact same order as you. I wish I didn't, but I agree.
I've had quite a few beers, and I enjoy Bud Light. Doesn't leave me feeling bad in the morning.
Nah.
It's a good beer. It's
Yep.
simple to drink, simple taste. Just all around, I think a solid light beer, and it's a good beer for the wedding.
Let's move to workout of the week.
Workout of the week. This week, we got back into some decent weightlifting.
Yep.
So we were focusing on the bench press, a common workout. But me being the way I am, I always like to throw a little spice into that.
Can't just do a normal bench. Can't.
So we're talking dumbbell bench press. And the way we were able to spice it up this week, two ways. Dan will talk about the latter, but
Yeah.
what I like to do with most of my workouts, any way I can engage the core within the workout so I can combine multiple muscles within a single exercise, I think is super, super beneficial. So what I do is on the bench, dumbbell bench, is I keep my feet elevated. Ideally, toes pointed towards the ceiling, and just keep it maybe 3 to 5 inches off the bench.
Yep.
But again, your legs are out.
Yep.
And this way your core is totally engaged, and now you're not going to be using any of your leg muscles to put up the weight at all. It's all the weight, or all the force to get the weight up is
Yep.
coming from your chest.
The thing that's kind of tough for some people to handle, you throw me in that group when we first started doing this type of exercise, is that you can't put up as much weight. So you're on a bench doing dumbbell presses, you would think you'd be doing a decent amount of weight. Not only, some people put their legs like on the bench,
Yep.
but when you go straight out, like Dylan's explaining, with your toes up, it's balanced, everything. You're not putting up as much weight. So you got to be okay with benching, what you would typically do less. I don't know, whatever the amount is for you, it is, but it's going to be less than you would typically do. You just got to be okay with that. The other thing that made it even harder and spicier for us this week was alternating the reps and which arms you were doing. So, of course, you do 2 together. That's great. But then we would do like 4 whatever together. Then we would do like 3, 4 on one arm in a row, keeping it up. The other one, 3, 4 on one arm, keeping it up, and then back and forth. And that, again, especially with the legs up, is so much harder than just going two hands at the same time.
Definitely. I think it's a little bit easy. I mean, it's not easier, but the hardest element of that is with the feet up. You can do it okay with the one arm stationary and you're pressing the other. But when you start alternating and then one's going down, the other one's going up, and they're just passing each other, that's really difficult with the feet up, because now that weight's coming down and your whole body wants to turn and fall off the bench, so you're really engaging the core to keep stable, to stay on that bench, as well as keeping good form throughout the bench.
Yep. What about what not enough people are talking about this week?
So this is a great one for me. So I'm sure you guys all saw, I think it was the end of January, maybe early February, there was all this hype about Kelly Slater. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. Pro surfer, dominates the surfing world. He created a wave pool that just changed the game. Probably the best man-made wave to this day. If you see the videos, not a single drop of water is out of place. And this is gonna change the game of surfing. It's gonna change a lot. And what I'm talking about this week that I think not enough people are talking about is, first off, I don't think not enough people outside the surfing community are talking about this wave pool, because it's just incredible.
The facts are no one is. I'm going to tell you right now, no one outside that community is talking about this wave pool, and maybe to your point, more people should.
And they should. And what's even better is now Kelly is inviting other pros to try it out, and the sheer excitement and passion you see in these pros' face when they try this wave out is, they look like they're a little kid again surfing for the first time.
So what are the logistics of this? Is this in a lake? Is this in a pool? Is this on?
It's a man-made pool that they made. I want to say it's 100 miles plus, but I know it's very far off the coastline of California. And I've recently heard too, they actually
in the ocean?
No, it's not, off the coast.
Oh, the other way.
Yeah, so it's away from the coast, like probably 100 miles away from the coast.
That's fair.
And they actually partnered up with Pacific Gas and Electric or something like that, some energy company out west, and now the whole wave pool is solar run.
Whoa.
So, I mean,
That's cool.
Things are escalating fast with this company and
That's cool.
the wave pool, and I don't think it's going to be the first. I think they're going to plan on developing other ones elsewhere.
The thing for me this week that not enough people are talking about is the Don't Mind Challenge. Don't Mind Challenge, I don't know if it's for a cause. I don't know what it's for. I know I've done it. I didn't donate anywhere, so maybe it is for a cause. I don't even know. But from what I can tell, it's basically dance moves to the song Don't Mind by Kent Jones. I heard this relatively new song on the radio, Don't Mind by Kent Jones, and I thought it was sweet. I liked it. Played it for my wife on YouTube the other night. She liked it. I noticed one of the other videos was something that's called like a hashtag Don't Mind Challenge. So I looked at it, and these groups of people, they're like vines almost. I don't know if you know what a vine is, but it's like short clips, I guess, of videos.
Familiar.
Okay. Put all together on this like YouTube video. There's many of them where these kids are doing dance moves to the Don't Mind song. Last topic of the day, the best thing we saw all week, right?
Dan, why don't you start off? What's the best thing you saw?
The sun is the best thing I saw all week. I haven't seen the sun in felt like months.
I'm right here.
I saw the sun this week. It was such a nice thing. It came out Sunday for Mother's Day. I mean, what a nice sunny spring day. A little breezy, but the sun came out. I think it's going to turn starting tomorrow, but by far the best thing I've seen all week. What about you?
Best thing I saw all week actually relates to my my shore community. So as I'm sure the viewers have picked up on, I am very passionate about the ocean, the beach,
I bet they have.
what have you. And I've been fortunate enough to spend most of my summers at a small shore community in New Jersey near Lavallette. What I like about this community more than anything is you cannot walk down the street without saying hello.
Okay.
You see somebody, they say hello, they ask how you are. It's very small town. Everyone wants to help each other out, cares a lot
That's great.
about everybody. One of my really good friends down there, his mother is having some tough times right now and is undergoing the battle of breast cancer.
Jeez.
And our community, without hesitating at all, wanted to lend a helping hand. I know I've been trying to do everything I can to help out with his whole family and be there to support in any way or form.
Mm-hmm.
And our community lent out a helping hand this Mother's Day, and basically said they wanted to take the whole family out for Mother's Day or get it catered wherever they wanted, wherever was more suitable and relaxing for her as well as the whole family. So that's exactly what they did. They lent out a helping hand, and they had a nice catered meal at home.
That's awesome.
From the feedback I got from my friend, he said his mother just had a great day. She was very active, enjoyed just being around the family with some good food. And I think the biggest part about that was they didn't have to worry about getting anything prepped or prepared for the day.
Yeah.
They were able to spend the day with her and celebrate the holiday with her, which I think really means the world to her and
That's awesome.
them. So that was the best thing I saw all week.
So that basically sums it up for this week.
It does. Another solid video, I think.
I mean,
hopefully you guys feel the same way as we do.
I mean, if it's based on anything like the comments and feedback we're getting, we know you guys love it. I mean, so thank you. You're in and you're welcome.
Hey, signing off. Take care.
See you next week.